why gold prices are falling and will they fall still, and how are Indians responding to the falling gold prices. Gold has been a very interesting story. There has been a significant jump in the gold prices in the recent past. How significant, the statistics itself tell us. In 2024, gold prices rose by 28%. In 2025, the rise in the gold prices was to the tune of 65%. It was a record increase. And even in the first 3 months of 2026, between January and March, gold prices increased by 10%. Subsequently, there has been a downward trend in the gold prices. In the last 3 months, the gold prices has come down by over 10%. And several market experts speculate that the gold prices are more likely to fall. Now it is around 1,40,000 per 10 grams, and it may even fall up to 1,20,000. That is a market prediction, but nobody can say that this prediction will come true with all certainty. So market predictions are always subject to market risk. So don't take investment decisions based on the speculation alone. It should be a personal conscious choice to invest in gold. So, but the fact remains that there has been a significant downward trend in the gold prices, and the majority of experts signal a further possible fall in the gold prices. So there are different reasons for this kind of a trend, because as I already gave you the statistics, the recent past has seen an unprecedented increase in the gold prices, and any unnatural rise in the prices of any commodity or even any equities also, financial assets or physical assets, bound to see a significant correction. Because in any time when you reach the high peak, there is always a correction. So high peaks are associated with deep corrections in the language of market. So this happens to the stock market, this happens to other. So today foreigners are selling away their stocks in the Indian market and leaving country precisely because the earning per share, EPS it's called. So the earning per share in Indian markets is quite high compared to the similar markets outside India. So therefore people are selling the stocks in India and buying somewhere else. So any price, whether it is gold, land or stocks, when the prices reach an unnatural level or a high peak, it is always accompanied by a correction and at times even a deep correction. And the gold market is also witnessing the similar trend across the world. The global gold prices has gone up to $5,600 per ounce. Now it is hovering around $4,000 per ounce. So this is a quite common in any market situation, and gold is not unusual or uncommon in this market dynamics. That's the first reason. The second reason is, always the gold prices move depending on the investment opportunities in other areas. For instance, now the American interest rates are very high, and the US Federal Reserve signals a possible increase in interest rates or at least the similar level in the interest rates. So when the interest rates in America are high, the investment goes out of the gold and stocks to the dollar denominated assets. Third, the US bond yield. Bond is something like a loan given to the government. So it's called a bond. So the American bond values are also giving greater yields, greater return on the investment. That is the third factor which is contributing. The fourth factor is the geopolitical fears have come down. So when geopolitical fears come down, the demand for gold comes down, because gold is always considered as a safe haven. So whenever there is a fear in the world, whether it is geopolitical tensions or geoeconomic pressures, investors turn towards gold because gold is seen as a stable and stable commodity, and it's a hedge against inflation. That is the fourth reason, because of the cooling down of the geopolitical tensions. Of course, despite recent reversal, and we have seen renewed attacks from both sides from US and Iran. Well, notwithstanding such situation, such change in situation, such a volatility in the situation, the fact remains that the US and Iran have arrived at a framework deal, and both the nations are not interested in continuing the war. So therefore, the geopolitical pressures have come down. Finally, the dollar is strengthening. Normally, there is an inverse relationship between dollar and the gold. So when the dollar rises, gold falls, and the dollar falls, gold rises. In 2025, there was a significant drop in the value of dollar, and therefore there is an unprecedented increase of 65% in the value of the gold. After the war, the political economy of war has fueled the increase in the value of dollar. Because when there is a war, obviously there will be demand for military industry. Obviously, any armament purchases have to be made in dollars. And also there is a disruption in the global oil prices, and the global oil prices have shot up like anything, and the global oil market is largely traded in dollars. So obviously, due to geopolitical pressures, there is an increased shift towards dollar. We have seen how foreigners are dumping their stocks in the Indian market and going out of India. So there is an exit of foreign investment from both stock market, both FPI, foreign portfolio investment, and foreign direct investment. So obviously, these are as a result of such development, the value of the dollar is increasing. Last year, the dollar index, the value of dollar compared to the 6 major currencies like euro, yen, yuan, has fallen below 100. Now the dollar index is trading above 100. So that shows the demand for dollar. So when the higher demand for dollar or greater demand for dollar is always accompanied by declining in the value of or price of gold. So these are the reasons why the gold prices are coming. So next question comes, how Indians are responding. Quite interestingly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi appealed to Indians not to buy gold for another 1 year or postpone buying gold for 1 year. I don't know whether really Indians are postponing, but Indians started selling gold also. Their old jewelry, old gold, because according to the Indian Bullion Jewelers Association data, between April and June, Indians sold old gold or old jewelry to the tune of 50 tons, and this is 43% increase compared to the April-June 2025. And this is precisely because people are also expecting a further fall in prices and therefore trying to book profits now. So that's the reason why people are selling the gold, because India imported $17.4 billion worth gold last time. So now with Indians selling their old gold ornaments, then there is always a possibility that there will increase the supply of the recycled gold. Recycled gold is essentially the jewelry and the old gold you have. So India has 30,000 tons of gold. Indian households have 30,000 tons of gold. Most of it is idle. So, but 50 tons is negligible, but still the direction is significant. Last year, in the 2025-26 financial year, the total recycled gold supply in the market was to the tune of 125 to 150 tons. So if the present momentum continues, experts estimate that there will be around 200 to 250 tons of recycled gold supply in the market. That will obviously reduce the need for greater imports. So this is how the global and Indian gold market is moving.